Takina rā te kawa orogo kia pūrea nei ngā hau o tāwhiri mātea, te hau mai tawhiti nui, tawhiti roa, tawhiti pāmamao ki te kūreitanga waku raukurei titia nei. E rongo waka iria ke ki runga tūturu waka maua kia tīna, tīna, hui e, tai ki e. Ka rerenga mihi ki rātou kua mene atu rā ki te pō, rātou I takoto ai ki ngā ātāmira huri noa I te maunga, huri noa ngā marae o tērā roe, o tērā marae, tērā apu, tērā wānau, koinei te rao ngā manu pi takataka ana ki wiki wā, e kore e moi, e kore tēnei momo manu e noho ana, ka rere ki wiki wā no rere e ngā mate o te wā haere ki Hawaii ki nui, Hawaii ki roa, Hawaii ki pāmamao. Ma tātou o koutou nei tinana e wakamahana, ma koutou te ao, o te rā ngā hau o tāwhiri mātea e rere ai. No reira, pitomate ki te pitomate, pitora ki te pitora, ti he kure perepeti, he kura parapa, ti he mauriora. Nau mai e te iwi ki te reo ngā hōtaka, ai ko ka PAO, ia pō pare, ka pāho atu ki koutou, ngā ui wainganui ahau, me etahi o ngā kaiwaiata I roto I te hapori, o te rei I roto I te ao waiata. E rangi, ka rere atu ki tō tātou nei manuhiri, ko tai mai ki rungi tō tātou hōtaka I te rangi nei. Ka whakaputi I roto I te reo Pākehā, kia mōhiwa I tō tātou nei manuhiri, he hanga kōrero. So I just want to say a welcome, my friend. I'm going to give it over to you so you can introduce yourself to all of our listeners.
Danke vielmals, ich bin der André und ich bin ursprünglich aus der Schweiz, lebe aber seit 12 Jahren hier in Neuseeland und es freut mich riesig, dass ich da bei euch kann in der Show sein kann, auch wenn ihr jetzt wahrscheinlich gerade nicht versteht, weil Schweizerdeutsch ist nicht so etwas, wo da so häufig geredet wird. So, my name is André and André Manella and I'm originally from Switzerland and I just talked a little bit of Swiss German there. Just saying hello and pretty much figuring out that probably not a lot of people would understand a word I was saying because there's not that many Swiss here in New Zealand. And I feel really happy to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
No, I'm so pleased because we've been maybe in contact for the last couple of months in regards to Singer Songwriters, but we've known each other for a while in the music industry. Yeah. So tell us about, so everybody knows, where did music all begin for you?
Yeah, I've been a musician most of my life in one way or another. So my family is pretty musical. My granddad was a musician. My uncle, two of my uncles are full-time musicians. And my dad was another full-time musician, but a passionate musician. He played the piano and the church organ. And so my whole family was into classical music. That's how I grew up. And I got sort of probably steered that way a little bit and started playing the cello at the age of maybe 7 or 8. And that's kind of where my journey with music started. And ended up learning that instrument properly as you do with having the lessons weekly and having to play every day for half an hour at least. And then I joined the orchestra eventually in Switzerland, that was. And then at some stage, I realized it wasn't really for me. I didn't really want to play music off a sheet. I wanted to write music. And that's when I made the move to start playing guitar and all sorts of other instruments and started writing my own music. And around that time also, I moved to New Zealand and sort of continued music here in Aotearoa. And I'm part of a bunch of originals bands and lived most of my time here in Taranaki. I'm part of Sonic Delusion, or I am Sonic Delusion. There's a lot of solo music I do. I have a folk trio called Turkey the Bird, where we do 3-part harmonies and lots of folk music with lots of organic instruments. I have an 8-piece band called Banana Mundo. We do Latin Afrobeat, sort of a dancey festival type music. And I have a 2-piece with Urs Signer, another Swiss that lives here in Taranaki. And we have a band called Ed Pool, and that's techno jazz. So those are my 4 sort of musical adventures I've been involved in. And on the side, I have a business called Manella Productions, which organizes all things music, really. I'm a live music caterer and I run Singer Songwriters. So there's a whole lot of things I'm doing, but all things music.
very colourful. And I just have to say, now we've got a connection because basically Oz is my uncle, but he would be cringing if he heard me say that.
He doesn't want
Yeah.
to be an uncle. It sounds too
Yeah,
creepy,
no,
maybe for
I
him.
call him Cuz. I call him
Oh,
Cuz.
that's good. Yeah,
Just for
he'd like
his
that.
sake. No.
He'd love that.
So look, I'm looking at our setup, and I feel like that you're interviewing me. Like, what's going on here? Like,
Yeah, this is my little home studio. This is where I
nice.
rehearse with my bands, and sometimes I'm not sure you can see there's a little stage there and the piano in the corner.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have a little small performance here, but I mainly use it for recording um, video as well. We record some video stuff in here as well, live performances and things like that. So yeah, that's my little basement studio at home. Yeah, I love this place. This is where I hang out and spend most of my time writing music and making music with friends.
Yeah, we all need a happy place. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I need one of those. I might have to
yeah,
give you a call.
yeah. Come and have a look. Come check it out. Have a jam. We play music in here most nights. To be fair, I've got somebody coming soon again. A couple of people. We do some writing sessions, and I run the songwriter collective in here as well, where we get together with people. We help each other songwriting, and yeah, there's whole lot of things happening in here. Pop-up recording studios, what happens in here? Where we film people perform and record the audio as well. So yeah, it's a great space and always lots happening.
Yeah, I think that's one of the first times we spoke was when we did our myself, Laura, and Naya when we did our pop up gig, and I think we started to introduce ourselves around that time a couple of years ago,
Yep.
and got to see how amazing this music community is. Like I felt like I knew everybody. No, I don't know. It was
No.
definitely a new ball game, which is good. Definitely good.
Yeah, never
Okay.
ending well. Just keeps going. It keeps going. There's always new people, and I think when you have a creative community, that also attracts more creative people. And yeah, I'm all about nurturing our scene and having lots going on. And yeah, I'm always super stoked when I discover new people that I haven't known before. Then I feel like I live in a big city.
Yeah, yeah. It gets a bit like that. I mean, like, New Plymouth is so small, but really, like, you can make it look big.
Yeah, it is
You
small,
just,
but it isn't. Like when you look at the numbers, I mean, it's not that small, really. It just feels small to me
yeah,
sometimes. It's not actually that small. There's still quite a lot of people here. So
yeah.
yeah, not
I've only just discovered there's a few like hidden cafes when you walk down the like alleyways, and I hear that there's tomorrow. I think it is tomorrow. Malaki is doing his opening up his gallery, his art. Like, I'm
nice.
really keen to have a look at that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
great
no, you are
artist.
right. Yeah, yeah. Okay, sorry. So back to the kaupapa.
Yes, yes.
Musos. Okay, so talk about singer songwriters. Like, how's it been this year?
This year's been a little challenging, but nonetheless, we managed to get I don't even know, maybe um, six singer songwriters in or five. I've lost count. It gets a bit messy with the old lockdown in between, but
Mm,
and usually we do this 8 times a year. So between March and October, the last Friday of the month is when singer songwriters is on,
mm,
and that's always at the Little Theatre on Aubrey Street in New Plymouth.
mm,
Nice little small theatre that seats about 110 people, something like that.
mm.
And it packs out every time. It's a full house. And for those who haven't been to Singer Songwriters, it's basically a really fancy open mic night. So rather than the big drinking crowd being noisy, we have a really attentive crowd who sit down in a theater type environment, and they still have a drink anyway, but they're not noisy. So they give you the full attention and respect while the performer is playing, and it's just one song per performer. And then we do the little change around. And while we do the change around of artists, people socialize and have a good time and get to know each other. And then we're quiet again for the next song. And yeah, that's been going for 16 years. And I've been taking it over
16.
from Anand and Dave Ritchie Smith about a year ago now. Just over a year ago when I took over. And yeah, season. So this has been the last one of the year. And it's on the 29th of October, which is a couple of Fridays away. And we're on to the 17th season next year, which is going to be amazing.
17th.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a
Next
great
year is going
event.
to
And
be...
yeah, close to my heart. I mentioned this before when you interviewed me, but this is when I moved to Taranaki and I tried to connect with people. Obviously, you try to find your crowd, and my crowd are probably the musicians. So Singer Songwriters was like the place for me, I was loving it. I met all my friends there, or a lot of friends, made super cool connections, and we started, bands actually started forming out of people hanging out at Singer Songwriters like yourselves, that happened to you. And great collaborations, and I just love the whole feel and the supportive environment. I love that everybody is really supportive of each other. And same with the audience, people perform, and there's young people performing who are super nervous, and they might have a little hiccup here and there, but people are so supportive. It's something I've never experienced anywhere else, and I'm super passionate about it, and I love that I'm able to keep it going now. So yeah.
I think one of the biggest things about singer-songwriters, a lot of people don't see how how many people actually turn up. It's always a full house. Sometimes people are literally, actually majority of the time, people sitting on the floor. I mean,
people get turned away occasionally because we reach a limit, and we have to respect that limit, of course. And it's amazing. And also people, the doors open at 7, but the show doesn't start till 8. The amount of times that we had the theater like 3/4 full by 7:20, it's astonishing. Yeah, it's like it blows my mind every time how people come super early and grab their bottle of wine or a couple of glasses of something to drink and sit down, and it's a beautiful theater, and you can just relax, and it's always a good fun night, and you never know what you're going to get. It's not, you don't pay for it, it's free. And we want to keep it that way, because you also never know what you're going to get. There might be something that might not be your cup of tea, but then the next performer might be totally your cup of tea. And we've had some nights in there where you just couldn't believe the level of musicianship on stage. It's always a great night, and big surprises always. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I remember the first time that I went, I was very hesitant to say or do anything. And I had my guitar, I jumped into the audience, and I think it was like the second to last person to go on, and like Anand was like ready to, this is our last performance. I ran to the back through everybody. I weaved through everybody, and I got in, and he just saw me and he goes, "Yeah, I'll get you up there." He's, this is the thing, like yourself and Anand. You appreciate good music. You appreciate the companionship on stage, and we definitely need that more so now than ever.
Yeah, and as a musician, one of the things that I really valued to have that singer-songwriters was, there's nothing like a deadline for when you're a songwriter and you're working on songs. If you don't have a gig, it's pretty easily a couple of weeks pass and you haven't done any work on it. And if you have like a goal, you set yourself a goal. That's what I used to do. I wanted a new song each time I performed at singer-songwriter, and that was my writing goal. And it's just great, something to work towards, and having that moment of performing in front of people and also testing out songs. You might not, you might think it's a great song, but you don't know what it's like. How does it received by people, and you can sort of road test your songwriting, and it's got so many. Obviously, I love it. It's got so many ups.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When you said that to me a couple of interviews ago, and you're like, "Oh, you've got a month to sort out a new song, or at least try and finish off a song, or to perfect the song and take it to singer-songwriters, and measure how the audience receives it. When you said that to me, it was like, oh my gosh, yes. Because some of my songs, and like a lot of singer-songwriters that are watching this, they don't know how valuable the audience's reaction is until you start singing your own songs in front of an audience. Because most singer-songwriters, and I'm sure you understand this as well, we just stick in our own little bubble, and we need that opportunity to be able to like take our songs out there, even if it's just one song at a time.
Yeah, even if it's just one song, and it doesn't need to be a new one each time either. You know, this is just something I set myself a goal, and I didn't always achieve that. But it can also be a song that you forgotten about, or a song that you haven't played in a while, or a song you might have never finished, or something, and you want to bring that one back to life, and you know, and oftentimes it'd be the night before. Singer-songwriters will be like, "Oh, I haven't got a song," and then you start working it, and boom, you know. But yeah, nothing like a good deadline.
Yeah. And so last year, like, I know it hit singer-songwriters hard. And it's good to see that you got like a few singer-songwriters. And this is my confession. I haven't been able to attend because most of the Fridays is when I have my babies. And, you know, I tend to focus on my babies. When I have my babies, it's on my babies. My eyes are on my babies. But I was so gutted that I haven't even been able to attend this year. But
it will happen. It will happen. I'm sure of it. So we got one more chance on the 29th of October for this year, and lots more chances for next year. So, you know, with all this COVID thing passing by, hopefully, and a bit more normality next year, hopefully we'll have that regularity and not that whole you know, all these cancellations and all that stuff happening.
I
So
know,
fingers crossed.
right?
Fingers crossed.
So I saw that you were looking for a bit of help. Did you end up getting help, or do you need like to reach your hand out and see if you can get some more help?
No, we had a great response. Like, plenty of people put their hand up. I needed to, you know, I have to step back a little bit. Like last month, I had to cancel because of the level 2. I was trying to kind of make it happen, but the restrictions were just it was getting too complicated. And at the end of the day, I rely on the venue making the call. It's their place. So the little theater, we just couldn't work it out. And this time I was making a lot of effort because I feel like it's probably going to be level 2 for a while, and we just have to get on with it and stop worrying about it and just adjust. So that's what I've been doing. So if we're still in level 2, we're going to go ahead because we can. When we have a few little small restrictions, so you might have to wear a mask on the way in, and not as much mingling as you would otherwise. But if you go in, grab your drink and find a table, and you're even okay to get up and buy more drinks, just put your mask back on. And when you go to the toilet, you need to wear a mask, and that's it. And on your table, you can do how you did it before. And to be fair, most people that come to singer-songwriters, they just sit at the table most of the time anyway. They find a nice spot, and then that's where they sit. And then they might do a few trips to the bar and back. And so it's not going to be a major change. And I just wanted a little bit of help to sort of, you know, guide people when they arrive, so they know what the changes are, what to do, and so I'm not on my own, and just to brief people a little bit. And plenty of people put their hand up, so yeah, I've got plenty of people to choose from. So thanks for everybody that put their hand up straight away. So yeah, amazing response.
That's definitely our muso community. They're always there, willing to help, right?
They're all musos. All the ones who put their hand up were the ones who actually also play usually. So,
yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about the singers, the songwriters, the poets, those who do spoken word. What would you like them to focus on? We've got a couple of weeks, you know, until they get on stage. Like, I'm not saying that I'm wanting you to, like, you know, but like maybe some people are shy. Maybe people who have been wanting to come for years but have never picked up the stick. You know, what would you say to them?
Well, I can only encourage anybody that has, you know, played with the idea of coming along to singer-songwriters one day, and they're waiting for this magical moment where they feel like now they're ready. I think that's never going to happen. You just have to do it at some stage, you know. And if you feel like you're not good enough, maybe ask a few of your friends and also and really listen to the people and their feedback, and you might be surprised, you know. Like we're our own worst critics, you know. You know how it is when you write a song. I mean, I write songs all the time, and then sometimes I revisit the songs and I absolutely hate them, you know, like I can't stand a song. And then maybe a week later I love it, you know, it's the best thing I've ever written. So you kind of go through these waves, and it's completely normal. And anybody that's doing this or just starting off writing a song, all I can say is just own it and give it a crack, you know. Like there's not a better place to give it a crack than Singer Songwriters, I reckon. Because you're definitely going to be supported, you're going to be held, and people are people are there to guide you, and to, you know, there is a real support there, and that's not just on stage, but it's also backstage, and it's about the experience, you know. You have to experience that getting really nervous, and that feeling after when you've done it, you know, when you've been up there and you played and people cheering and, you know, appreciating your music. It's an amazing feeling, and for anybody who hasn't done that, I can only recommend, just give it a crack, you know. And maybe once you do it, it might not be your cup of tea, and that's cool, but maybe you'll pick up a fever of some sort, you know, a good one.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely an experience, and like you got to bite the bullet, you know, feel that fear and carry on. And like you've got people like who goes often. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. You've got the Slack boys that tend to turn up.
The
You have
Slacks, or Marky
yeah
and
yeah
Scotty are often there playing a song. We have local, who else? Maybe a Renee Milner will turn up, or a Juliette
yeah
McLean. We have like everybody and anybody, really. It's such a range. We have lots of the crowd who go to Decanter a lot. There's a few, you know. Emily would maybe rock up
Emily,
and play a
yes,
song with Lauren Nottingham sometimes, and and we have people who never performed before. You know, we had this guy Wayne show up a few months ago, who moved here, and he got everybody going, which is he's got this natural. He didn't even try. It felt like, you know, it's just once he got going, and he's a cool songwriter, and people got into it, and before he knew it, everybody was clapping along, and so I love discovering new people. So there's such a range of people, and I don't even know who's coming. You know, you can sign up if you know you're coming. You can sign up through my website and say, hey, I want to slot for sure. That's an option, and some people do that, but you can also just rock up on the night. So I don't even know who's coming. So, but it always ends up being over 20 performers.
yeah, yeah, easy,
Big night.
easy, yeah. So a lot of people who haven't been to Singer Songwriters, they tend to think that like, okay, we're just going to listen to English music. There's nothing wrong with that either, but a lot of people don't realize that it's actually like trilingual, multilingual. I don't even know if there's a word multilingual, but you know, you don't only just get English, you get other languages on stage. Which, can you talk about that for a bit, so that others that are watching this can understand? Wow, this is actually a place to go.
Yeah, it's not just in English. Of course, the majority probably would be in English, but every once in a while and every so often we have people, you know, perform songs in their own mother tongue, whatever that is, and we highly encourage that. Of course, that's great. I'm from Switzerland, and Switzerland is a country that has 4 official languages, and so I grew up. For me, that was kind of normal that you had this band singing French, and then this band singing Italian, and the other one in German, and that one in English, and that one in whatever language, Romanish or whatever else there is. We have that as well, and highly encourage if anybody's thinking, oh, I'd love to come and play, but I don't play or sing in English, doesn't matter. Music is music, and we'd appreciate any music that's coming our way, and that would make the evening even more special, I reckon.
Yeah, no, I've seen a few people sing. Actually, our Irish brothers, majority
Yeah.
of the slacks. And I love listening to some of the writers that they've got, even in the ones that are in English, and they're talking about what had happened, the history that happened over there in
Yeah.
Ireland. So those songs I understand, I can fully connect to.
Yeah.
But yeah, to see everybody else connecting to it, that's just a
Yeah.
whole different level of experience.
Yeah, and it's actually not just, it's maybe worth mentioning as well. We're not, it sounds a bit like the way we talk that most people play original music, and that's probably the case, but it's also not a must. So if you want to come and play a cover or want to play somebody else's song and do your own interpretation, that's absolutely fine as well. So yeah, it's totally up to you.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I love about it. It's definitely a whare manaki whānau, like go there, you're always feeling warm, welcomed, catered for, and like, having the opportunity just to meet new people. I've always felt that way. In fact, you would see this as well, my friend. How many spontaneous acts it turned up, like and created
Mm.
within minutes before it gets actually onto the stage.
Yeah.
Like
That's what happened with you, didn't it? Yeah. So backstage is where a lot of the artists hang out, and if you play, you're most welcome to just be backstage. And a lot of people decide to just stay backstage actually, and connect and jam a little bit. And yeah, collaborations happen all the time backstage, and then before we know it, we have a little collab going, and maybe they end the night, like yourselves.
I've actually been missing my friends. I haven't seen them for a long time. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I just wanted you to promote one more time so that those who are watching and
Mhm.
listening, so they know where to go, because they might be like hanging out. They might be
Yeah.
missing that live vibe. I know I am. But yeah, just let everybody know where they can go.
Yeah, come and check it out. We're not a club. A lot of people think we're like some sort of club, and that's probably worth mentioning as well. Singer Songwriters New Plymouth is an event. It's not a club of any sort. So nobody is a club member or anything like that. So what it is, it's called Singer Songwriters New Plymouth, and we have a monthly open mic night, a fancy open mic night. Next one is on the 29th of October. It's always the last Friday of the month, and it's at the Little Theatre on Aubrey Street in New Plymouth. And the doors open at 7, and I highly recommend come early, because if you're late, there might not be any seats available. So doors open at 7, and the music kicks off around 8, and it usually goes for, till about 10, 10:30, sometimes even 11, depends on how many people we have perform, but we sort of try to wrap it up within a couple of hours. And yeah, it's free entry, doesn't cost you anything. There is a bar. So there is a bar, cheap bar too. And yeah, bring your FPOS or whatever. They got FPOS and all that. And yeah, you can have any drink of your choice, and then have a sit in the audience, find a nice seat, and yeah, for this next one, just make sure you bring your mask, and make sure you sign in on the way in, just so we tick all the boxes on that side. Yeah, I'd love to see you there.
Oh my gosh, my friend, you're making me miss it. Maybe I do bring my kids for once and just try
Yeah.
it out. Just try it out and see how
Yes,
they
good idea.
behave.
I like it. Yeah, you can always bring your kids backstage. There's a lot of interesting places to hide in.
Oh, they'll be wearing all of the theatrical
Yeah,
attires. I could just see
uh,
my youngest
uh,
coming out
yeah,
looking like a pirate.
yeah, yeah. We'll better not go too far. Little theater won't love me for that. They don't like me touching anything backstage. So, um, yeah, we try to respect that.
Okay, so I'm leaving him home. My friend, I'm so blessed. We are all blessed that you've taken up the courage and continuing this magical journey for us singer songwriters here in Taranaki. We need this. We definitely need this. Doesn't matter if we
Hell yeah.
speak English or Reo, or if we're speaking, like any tongue, or even we make up our own,
Yeah, I started developing a language with my kids the other day, and I thought, because I'm a practical sort of person, I thought, why don't we just simplify things, and we just have the same word for similar things, and then we just rate them between 1 and 10, So like a pair of roller skates is you come up with the word. I haven't got it yet, but it's just a 1, and then a car is about a 7, and a truck is a 10. So they're all similar things. Yeah. You with me?
Yeah.
So that would be
No.
that's the idea for a new language. Just simple.
You'd have to teach me to understand it, but I think
Yeah, I
I
don't know it
might.
yet. I haven't invented it yet, so I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Okay. Actually, to be honest, I've actually wanted to create my own calligraphy for Te Reo Māori. We've got art, we've got carvings that speak and hold um, our stories of origin and etc. etc. But what's something that we could use instead of using English letters? Why not use letters or shapes that are completely different, so that everybody gets the E and the E in Te Reo Māori wrong. So E in English is E in Māori, but if we changed it, would it be easier to understand? Maybe.
You're onto
I
something.
don't know.
Let's keep that journey up. We'll
Let's
talk about
keep
our
that.
languages
Yeah,
next time. See
next
how far
time.
we
Next
got.
time. All right, my friend.
Awesome.
Any last words? Did you want to share anything in your language or kaiakwe?
I'm happy. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Danke vielmals, dass ich da bei euch sein und freue mich aufs nächste Mal. Thank you so much.
Ngā mihi hua no reira e te iwi, kua mutu tāua nei ui, ka tuku mihi e te ki koutou I hono mai ki tēnei o ngā papāho, marunga I tō tata nei whārangi pukamata o te korimako o Taranaki, te whārangi o ka PAO, o tērā te whārangi rungi I YouTube, aro tonu mai, hei a pōpō ki runga I tō tata I reo iriragi Māori, mai te rua tainoa ki te whākaraka e hoa mai, ka rongo koutou ki ngā wai te reo Māori rungi I tō tātou teihana, ka rongo hoki koutou ki tēnei o ngā ui, no reira, ka tuku mihi atu ki koutou o tira ki tō tātou manuhiri. So thank you so much, my friend, and be well, and I'm going to definitely try and come on the Friday on 29th. I'm never going to forget that, 29th.
Looking forward to hearing your music again. It's been a while.
Been a while, yeah. Take care, my friend.
Awesome.